Hello, I'm Rachel Moore, and I'm the President and CEO of the Music Center.
Hi everybody, I'm Michael Solomon. I'm the Vice President of Presentations and Education here at the Music Center.
We're here to tell you about our incredible new dance season that's coming up, and we're very excited to share the details.
We have some of the greatest companies coming onto our stages this year. Everything from LA's own Diavolo, Architecture in Motion, to Alvin Ailey, American Dance Theater returning, all the way up to the Royal Ballet.
For the past 16 years, the Music Center has helped shape the environment and the landscape of dance in Los Angeles. And we really are committed to bringing excellence in dance to everyone.
Why don't we start by taking a look at some of these companies? Let's go ahead and take a look at a video created for this season. Great video, thank you. Why don't we talk a few minutes about the actual productions that are coming in this season? We are very excited to be opening our season with company Wayne Mcgregor. This company is making its Music Center debut October 5th through the 7th at the Amundsen Theater. For those of you who may not be familiar with Wayne, he is a British choreographer. He is the first choreographer not from a ballet background to be a resident choreographer with the Royal Ballet. Company Wayne Mcgregor is his own contemporary dance company. For those of you who may not be familiar with Wayne, he has choreographed everything from Harry Potter films to videos for Radiohead to classical work with the Royal Ballet and other companies. The piece that he's bringing is a new piece called Autobiography. Wayne probably did something like 23andMe to have his whole DNA sequence done, and he has created a piece about that. Autobiography has 23 individual sections similar to the human DNA, and he looks at issues around the human condition: sorrow, loss, happiness, loneliness, all through that. What's really unique about this production is it's in a different order every single performance. A computer figures out the sequence right before the show goes on. So the 23 individual pieces that make up Autobiography are performed in a random order, just like genetic code would be random. The music for Autobiography most of it is created by Jaylin, who is an electronic music artist, and we're very excited that Jaylin will be here this year to perform her music live during this engagement. Following company Wayne Mcgregor, actually just a week later, we have LA's own Diavolo, Architecture in Motion. This will also be in the Amundsen Theater, October 12th through the 14th. Many of you saw Diavolo on America's Got Talent this year. They made it all the way into the top 10. Diavolo has a very long association with the Music Center. We have presented them on the dance series before. We work with them regularly through Music Center on Tour, which is our long-standing education program that goes out into the schools. The company is very athletic, very acrobatic, whereas company Wayne Mcgregor tends to be a little more intellectually based, a little more internal in the way he approaches his choreography. Jacques Heim, who choreographs for Diavolo, is very external. It's all about how we interact with architecture around us and the environment around us. So it's great to see these two work together, 2 weeks together, because they're very almost opposite in style. When Jacques is here, we will have a piece called Trajectoire, which is one of their early works. It's a classic piece. It's in celebration of the company's 25th anniversary, and a new work called Voyage, which will have its California premiere here on our stage.
Moving from the contemporary, we leap into the classical realm with the Nutcracker. The Nutcracker is one of the most beloved ballets in the ballet canon. I see it as a gateway ballet where people who've never experienced ballet can come and really enjoy. This will be the second year that we bring Miami City Ballet back to do George Balanchine's version of the Nutcracker, which is arguably the most iconic version internationally and nationally. This is a glorious production with lots of color, and kids and adults will really love it. The choreography is by George Balanchine, the music is by Tchaikovsky, and the costumes and sets are by Isabel and Ruben Toledo, who are the power couple in the fashion world, and they have done a spectacular job of bringing real life and joy to this production. This is also truly a Los Angeles Nutcracker in that we are partnering with both the Colburn School and the Gabriella Foundation to have the kids that perform be from Los Angeles and really reflect the richness and the diversity of our city and county. We are really excited about it, and it is truly a holiday tradition, and it will be performing at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion from November 30th, I believe. Yes, November 30th until December 2nd, and it's really going to be a joy.
And I'll just add on to that, the Music Center is the only place you can see George Balanchine's Nutcracker with a live orchestra. It is our very own Dance at the Music Center Orchestra, which just makes for a spectacular production. Then in the spring, we are very excited to welcome back Alvin, Ailey American Dance Theater. They will be at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, April 3rd through the 7th, 2019. 2019 marks the 60th anniversary of Alvin Ailey's company, which is a remarkable feat for any dance company. They are absolutely a Los Angeles favorite. We will have a mix of new work, which often addresses issues around social justice. They're doing a lot of work in this area now. Every performance will include Revelations, which the company is known for. Ailey is actually my own personal gateway ballet. Revelations was the first thing I saw when I was 8 or 9 years old, dragged by my grandmother in New York. But every time Ailey's here, it takes me right back to that point in time, and I never get tired of seeing Revelations and the company. We're very excited to have them back.
And then once again, we leap back to the ballet world with one of the greatest companies performing today, the Royal Ballet out of London. And they will be performing a truly operatic ballet called Mirling. This is a ballet on great scope and many, many people on stage, incredible historic costumes. Mirling is choreographed by Sir Kenneth Macmillan, and it tells the story of Prince Rudolph, who is an Austro-Hungarian prince, and his teenage mistress, and it is a tragic tale, but a gloriously told one. Sir Kenneth is known for his pas de deux, which is the dance for two. He is probably one of the finest creators of these beautiful pas de deux that's being seen today. He really understands capturing romance and capturing sorrow in a unique way. We will have live orchestra once again. It is really extraordinary. And the Royal Ballet is one of the great ballets and part of their tradition with the Royal is that they are trained in the dramatic theater, which isn't necessarily true with many other styles of ballet. And so when they tell a story, they tell it with an authenticity and a theatricality that is incredibly compelling. And they will be with us at the Dorothy Chandler from July 5th to July 7th. Can't wait.
And following Meyerling is the first of 4 additional programs that we are adding on to our dance season this year. I'm going a little out of order because I want to talk about the Royal Ballet in their second week. July 12th and 13th at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, we will have an evening of Thomas Addis music with Wayne Mcgregor choreography and performers from both the Royal Ballet and Company Wayne Mcgregor. Mm-hmm. This is a very special evening. This is a co-production with the LA Phil, and this will mark the first time the LA Phil Orchestra will return to the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion since the Music Center opened Walt Disney Concert Hall for them in 2003. We're very excited to have the Phil back on this stage. The evening is all Thomas Addis music. It includes a new symphony that was commissioned by the LA Phil in honor of their centennial. And that symphony will be played on their season as a concert in May of 2019. Then in July, when we present the ballet, that symphony will be the music for the world premiere of a new work by Wayne Mcgregor that is being set onto the Royal Ballet. The rest of the evening includes 2 other works that Wayne is creating, one that will have its world premiere with his own company, Company Wayne Mcgregor, also with music by Tom Addis. And the final piece is a recreation of a piece that Wayne had originally created for New York City Ballet that this time will be performed by members of Wayne's own company and members of the Royal Ballet. We're also very excited that Thomas Addis himself will be here to conduct the LA Phil Orchestra at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion.
I want to chime in. The piece with both the Royal Ballet dancers and the Wayne Mcgregor dancers is really extraordinary because dancers learn and feed off one another. And when you're on stage with people who are stylistically very different, it sort of compels you to also function a little differently. So you'll get a blended third from their version. It's pure the Royal and pure the Wayne Mcgregor, which I think will be enchanting.
Absolutely, an extraordinary evening not to be missed. You're not going to want to go out of town in July at all with 2 weeks of the Royal Ballet here. Our next special offering this year is a work called The Great Tamer. This is a co-presentation with UCLA. It's one night only, January 11th at Royce Hall. The Great Tamer has been created by a Greek choreographer named Dimitri Papaioannou. I think I got that right, but my apologies to the entire Greek community if I just blew the pronunciation of Dimitri's last name. Dimitri is probably best known around the world for having choreographed and created both the opening and closing Olympic ceremonies from the 2004 Olympics in Athens. This piece represents the premiere, actually presents the U.S. premiere of his dance work being seen in the United States. It's a very deep work about the meaning of life and death and the origins of man, and it is a great way to introduce his work to Los Angeles audiences.
So another one of our add-ons is the Matthew Bourne Cinderella. Los Angeles loves Matthew Bourne, and we're excited to be partnering again with Center Theater Group to have his company back with Cinderella. It is, of course, the fantastic story that everyone knows about Cinderella, and it will be running from February 5th through March 10th at the Amundsen Theater. And then finally, for our special add-ons, we will have the grand finale performance of Spotlight. Spotlight is a remarkable program for high school students from Southern California. It is a year-long process where thousands of kids audition and are mentored throughout the year, and it culminates in this glorious final performance with 14 talented young performing artists from different genres at Walt Disney Concert Hall. And this includes ballet, contemporary dance, classical music, contemporary music, music, as well as vocal and instrumental. We've had many successful artists move on from the Spotlight program, including some people you may have known or heard of. Misty Copeland, Josh Groban, Adam Lambert, and Aaron Mackey, who's now on Broadway. A lot of the world's next talent shows up on the stage at Walt Disney Concert Hall. And this will be on the evening of June 4th. 2019, and it's really an incredible night to see the stars of tomorrow today.
We are really excited about what is our 16th anniversary season for Dance at the Music Center, and I believe we have time for a couple of questions. And I see one has come in now.
Oh, so one of the questions is why are we not talking about American Ballet Theater? Well, ABT is absolutely coming, my home company, and they're bringing La Bayadere, which is an incredibly gorgeous classical ballet. Technically, it is part of this year's season, not next year's season, which is why we're not talking about it as part of next year's season. It is this July. It is one of the great ballets. The second act is arguably one of the most famous in the classical ballet idiom, where it is the Kingdom of the Shades, where you have all these women in white tutus coming down a ramp, and it really shows off the glory of the corps de ballet. We are really thrilled to have ABT back again, of course with a full orchestra, and it is truly America's national ballet company, and we are delighted to have them here every year.
Great, thank you. It does not look like we have any further questions. I'll hold up the prop real fast. If you want the printed version of our brochure, it is now available. And tickets are available now as well, beginning today at our website, which is musiccenter.org. For those of you that still like the telephone, the number is 213-972-0711.
So we hope that you'll join us next year for Gloria Kaufman Presents Dance at the Music Center. And thank you for joining us for our debut on live streaming. And we hope to see you at the theater.
Thank you.